Hey guys, welcome back. If you guys are doing any of your onboarding tasks manually, such as sending welcome emails, creating and sending proposals, using the automation that about to show you, you're going to save ton of time. Okay, to be to put in stats, almost 9+ hours on admin task. Okay, that is huge. Let's just get right into it. The first automation that you're seeing is very simple, not very complex or anything. We have a Google sheet. We'll change the status to something. Okay, status to, let's say, send email. When we change the status to this, it will automatically send an email to the prospect. Very easy automation. You guys can make it. You must be thinking, Aditya, what is in this? Here's where the next part of the automation comes in. This is where gets interesting. So let me first explain you the concept. So every time you're on a sales call, you see, you're on a sales call with a potential prospect or a potential oops, client, and he or she has some kind of problem. And whenever you're on a sales call, be sure to record your sales call and also sit with a book and pen. Now, every single time you have a problem, make sure to note that problem down or record that problem. And for that problem, you come up with a solution. Okay. Now, we want to take this problem and the solution and we want to put it inside of a proposal. So in the proposal, we're going to say, okay, this was the problem that you told me that you were facing. This is the solution that I come up with, and this is how much I am going to charge you. Okay, that is what happens in a proposal. If you do something else, that is totally up to you. So now what do we want to do is we will create a form for ourselves. Okay, for us that we will fill out. Then in that form, we'll have what was the client's problem, what was the solution that we came up for them. And once we hit submit on the form, what will happen is we're going to use AI. It's not necessary that you have to use AI, but we can use AI to elaborate that problem, make it in very simplified language so that the prospect also understands, like, okay, this is exactly the problem that I was going through. Then we're going to take that problem and the solution, we're going to put it inside of a templated Google document. You don't necessarily have to use Google Doc. You can also use Panda Doc if that is what you prefer, or you can also use Google Slides if that is what you prefer. Then we're going to download that Google document, and finally we will send them as an email. Okay. Now, we are not going to make a typical form. Actually, I was going to make a different video about this, but I thought it's a good chance, so I'll do both of them in one. So, what we are going to use to make the form is an app called Lovable. Now, Lovable is a fantastic thing. Instead of Lovable, if you want to, you can also use Bolt. So, I'm giving you options as well. So, the fantastic thing about these softwares is that all you need to do is just write a prompt on how you want your form or how you want your landing page or how you want your website to look like. For instance, if I said, make me a black themed form, which asks for the name, which asks for the email and stuff, so on and so forth. It is going to take your prompt, and based on your prompt, it will automatically create it. It will do all the coding for you. You don't have to write anything at all except for the prompt. Now, without any further ado, let's just get into building it. As always, we'll first head over to make.com. We'll go into a new scenario. Let's open Google Sheet. And I've already created the sheet, but you know what? Let's just create a new sheet and we'll call this onboarding YouTube. Okay, now first we'll search for new roles. Let me just add some things here. Add the name on the email, and we need the status. Okay, you can add more things if you want to, but I'm keeping this very simple for now. Let's just add a record as well. Aditya Aditya 82250 at the rate gmail.com. Just pick this out. And finally, we are going to put a drop down. We'll call this onboarding email. Edit this option. I'm going to do yellow. Done. Okay. So now we have almost everything that we need. So what we're going to do here is first find the spreadsheet ID. Let's see if we get onboarding YT, sheet number one. I'm going to save this. Now we'll add an email. I'm going to send an email. Now I'll go to ChatGPT and we'll say write a welcome email. Body, welcome aboard. We're excited to have you with us. Whether you're here to learn something new, grow your business, get fit, automate your workflow, you're in the right place. We've got your back. Quick benefit one, two, three. Let's do add some benefits. Okay. We're thrilled to welcome you to your brand or community. We've taken the first step towards main transformation result they're looking for. CTA, download the starter guide, access your dashboard, book a free call. Okay, that's fine. You know what? For now, let's use this. It's not the best one, but still. So we'll change this to plain text, then paste this in. Now let's remove this. We're here to help you organize all your leads and make it feel easy. Your name. Let's do James. Hmm. Remove this. Add the name. We're thrilled to welcome you to Twilight, towards automating your business. Okay, now we have that. The subject line was welcome, welcome to the family. Let's get started. Now I just need to do yes and add the email address, which is right here, and that is about it. And then one last thing is to add the filter. We'll write onboarding email. Sorry, and save. Now if I run this, only one passed. I have the email. So if I go here, welcome to the family. Let's get started. Time saving tools, expert guidance, proven systems, ongoing updates, priority support, blah, 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 everything. Okay, so the first part of the automation is pretty much done. It was very easy. So we'll just name this onboarding. Let's do onboarding YouTube. Okay, now I'm gonna hit save. Let me just quickly download this as well because I need to give it to you guys as well. If you guys don't want to make this, that's absolutely fine. You'll get the blueprints in the description. Click on these three dots, click on import blueprint, choose the file, click save, and you'll have all the blueprints you need. Now, you'll just go back and create another automation. Now, for this, let's first go to Lovable. The site is lovable.dev, looks something like this. Okay, now let's give it a prompt. I want you to make a form which is matrix themed. That form should ask for the name, email, the problem, proposed solution. We have the name, the email, the problem, the proposed solution, the amount, and additional cost. Oops, additional, not additional cost, additional cost. You will send all the data to this webhook. Make sure when you're using Lovable, you only get like 5 tries or something, and after that, it just won't work for a couple of days, and then you get it back. But make sure you're using it wisely though, and write everything in for the first prompt itself. That's why I'm trying to put everything that I wanted to do in the first prompt. I'll just do onboarding YouTube, save it, copy, go back to Lovable, paste the webhook, make sure to send all the data to this webhook, and let's see what else can we say. Hmm, let's give it a context. I want to use this form to generate proposals. I will fill out this form with all the details, and when I hit submit, I want you to send all the data to the given webhook. Okay, now let's just send this. Let's see what happens. Every single time Lovable comes with something amazing and it shocks me. But you see, now I'm just waiting. But if you just see right here, it's doing the coding and everything all on its own. So I don't have to do any of this. So, and I don't like looking at it. So I just keep it there. It's taking a pretty good amount of time. And okay, it says, okay, there it is. It's complete. Wow. Okay, that is amazing. That is amazing. Enter proposal parameters for transmission to the mainframe. That's accessing proposal generation protocol. Secure connection established. That is pretty amazing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna only test this once, but as a safety measure, what I am going to do is I'm gonna add a set multiple variable. Let's add a name. This is for further testing because I don't want to fill the same form again and again 10 times in a row. And I'll just copy paste everything from here. Let's say the problem. What problem does the client have? Hmm, let's do the CRM itself. The client doesn't have doesn't have a CRM. So all the leads doesn't have a CRM. So there is no way that the leads are organized. And so the client has no idea where the leads are coming from. Okay, that is the problem. We'll do a solution. Build, not build, sorry. Create a form and using make, we'll take all the data from the form and enter them into a CRM. In the form, in the form, we'll also ask them where they got to know about us. Okay, now we are doing that because then we'll know where the leads are actually coming from. Now, what else do we have? We have do we have additional cost? Yeah, we have cost. Let's say $1,000 or something, and then we have additional cost. Let's say $10 for make.com. Okay, now I'm going to just copy paste all of this. I also like the font, how it's green and it's fully the matrix style and everything. Oh, I have the email right here. Okay, now that looks bad. No, no, no. Let's copy this. Let me just put this right here. Is that in problem description? Here's the problem. Paste it in. Here we have the solution. Oops. The amount is 1,000 and it is cost is 10. Okay. Now what I want to do is save this, unlink this, run once, Waiting for the data. Now let's execute proposal transmission. Proposal submitted, your data has been sent successfully. The matrix has received your transmission. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay, so hmm, that is actually fine. Okay, I thought it would just directly give me after parsing the data, but it just gave it to me in JSON, which is also fine. You can just parse the data. That's fine. So after this, if you get data like this, don't worry. Just add a JSON parser. You guys should know this by now. Go to parse JSON. Just add your JSON string right here. And just hit save. Oh, you know what? I'll just show you. Let's see. I take all this value. I copy this, unlink it, take this trigger, remove that, paste it right in, ignore warnings, run anyway, and then you have the whole data parsed properly. And this is all the things that we want. So since we have this, I'm going to use this, remove that. You know what? Let's just connect this, and I'll move them right here because after the whole thing is built, we need that. Okay. So after this, what we'll do is we have set the variable, so we have all the answers that we need, and then we're going to use an AI. So again, as always, you can use Grok. You can also use Eden, Mistral. OpenAI is the best. So first, I'm going to take this Grok. Let's do. You're going to use DeepSeek this time. Let's see how DeepSeek performs, and then we're going to just give a user prompt. We'll say you will be provided with a problem that the client is facing, and you will also be provided with a solution. Also be provided with a solution that I proposed. I want you to elaborate on them and make sure to keep it in very simple language. The output, the output should always be in JSON. And then as always, we'll add don't add JSON at the beginning, and we'll also say follow this structure. And the structure is go here, we'll say problem, comma, and we have solution. Okay. And now let's provide it with the problem and solution. Here's the problem, and here's the solution. Save. Let's see how that works. We have a long string. We have to remove this thing, but this is the only problem with DeepSeek is that it thinks and it shows what it's actually thinking. which is actually pretty cool. But in an automation, this becomes a problem. But anyway, the client doesn't have a CRM, so leads are not organized, and the client doesn't know where the leads are coming from. Create a form using like, automatically enter it into a CRM. The form will also ask how leads heard about the client to track the source. Let's make sure that it elaborates more. Let's do, let's do the output should be 100 words. Okay. Now, after this, what we'll do is we want to split that. We don't want the think part. So what I'm going to do is just call this split, and then we're going to split the text. We're using a function that is called split. So if you see this small, if you see this little documentation that popped up when I wrote split, it says splits the array into substrings. Okay, don't go into the concepts and everything, even I don't know what everything all of these means. But technically what happens is, you see the example, it says split and then it has three names: John, George, and Paul. If you see, after the names it has a comma. So after George there's a comma, after John there's a comma, after Paul, not after Paul. So it is going to, so it is going to convert that into an array, but based on the comma. You'll understand it once you see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the result based on the angle brackets, and I'm going to do think. Okay, because it says this think right here. But unclose one. Oh, sorry. Let me just close this bracket. But there's one more thing. Think there's a slash before this. So I'm going to add a slash here and save. So now what it'll do it will separate the think part and the JSON part. Now let's test it. Okay, went through. Now we have a split array. You see, now we have the long string where there is only the think portion which we don't need, and then the second part is the JSON string that we wanted, which is perfect. Now we are going to parse the JSON. I will add the string. Now you guys must be thinking, okay, how am I supposed to get that? Because it's only showing the first part, not the second part. So technically don't have to worry, just put this, not that. Click on the one and then just write here two. So if what happens is inside of the split array, we want the second one, not the first one. Then we hit save. Now we have the JSON parsed. Let's test that out again. Now if I go here, you see I have the problem and the solution. Now we want a Google document. So we'll go to Google Docs. We'll go to the template gallery, and let's see if we have some. Oh, we have some project proposals here, meetings. There's some agreements we can use. Let's use the project proposal for now. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, just as an example, I'm going to remove all this, add two brackets, and just write solution. Close the bracket. I'm going to do the same here and just write problem. So what it's going to do is, where there have put these brackets, so technically you can also call them variables. So wherever I've put these variables, it is going to take the variables and it's going to paste it right here. The best thing is to show you instead of telling it. So now what we do is we go to Google Documents, Google Docs, create a document from a template. The document ID will be project proposal because that is the name. Now you see, since I put those two variables, it has given me these two empty slots, problem and solution. So I can just put the problem right here, put the solution right here. Okay, these are for the images, but you don't need that. Let's give it a title. So I'll put the name and I'll say proposal. The location will be this. Save it. Let's just download it because after this I want to send this as an email. So you can do this as a document. Let's do it as a Microsoft document. Document ID, we don't want to take the document ID, we'll just map it. And why I saying we don't want to select it, we just want to map it, is because every single time this automation will create a document, it is going to have a new ID. So if you just select it, it's going to take the use the same thing again and again, which we don't want. We want it to be dynamic. We don't want to touch this once we've made it. So all you need to do is just go to Lovable, just fill in all the information and just hit enter. Your proposal is automatically sent. That is what we want to achieve in this. And then finally we are going to send an email. So we'll go to email, we'll go to send an email, we'll say yes to the email right here. Subject will say here's the proposal, and do plain text, read it carefully before signing. Inside of attachment, you see it's already selected. Now we hit save. It will show this error. Go again, click save. Now the automation is almost complete. Let's just test it. Created the document, downloaded the document, and we're sending the email. So now if I go to my email, just reload this. Here's the proposal, read it carefully before signing. Boom. Project name. The client doesn't have a CRM, so leads are not organized and they don't know where the leads are coming from. Create the form using create a form using make. It could have done it much better, but still, what our end goal was to do this. Now, if the one more thing that we forgot is to add a signature. You know what? What you can do is in here, if you have like space to do that, you can just insert an image of your signature. But there's a way you can. This is a trick, but don't use it when you're actually creating your proposals. Okay, I'm just showing you this as an example. Create a cursive style signature for my name, James. Let's do create. Since we can use Gemini inside of Google Docs, this is an amazing thing that they've done. Okay, see, pretty good. So let's say I like this one. I'm gonna just drag it, place it right here. Pretty good. A pretty big signature. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce the size and voila, I have a signature. But don't use this in your actual proposal. This is just an example. Make sure to insert your own signature, give the document to the client, get their signature, tell them to send it back, and you're done with it. With all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this automation saves you also a ton of time. If you are doing these things manually, make sure to use this automation. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.